Okay, so if you're looking at separating colors with light, or should I say marrying colors alongside light and to separate your subject from your background, this is the video for you. All right, so this particular image alongside these images are from a photo shoot that I did with two photographers that I've made a mini documentary of. Go check down the description below and learn from it how we were able to achieve these images alongside with other methods of capturing images using light creatively. All right, so let's get into the topic of today. Today we're going to look at how I use colors with light intensity. That is very important, light intensity, to separate my subject from the background. So I'm going to aid you with some inscriptions, or should I say some marks on the image to aid you understand what I'm going to say properly. All right, so over here you notice that there's blue, all right, and yellow. All right, so if you are familiar with the color wheel, you notice that complementary colors are always the opposite sides colors. Here we have a cool color blue and a warm color or a hot color orange. Equally, cool color purple and a warm color or hot color yellow, green and red, the same way, you understand. So over here, I didn't go according to the complementary colors directly, but I still went with the concept of cold and cool. So we have blue for the cold and I have yellow for the warm. All right, so you notice that my background has a similar color of the blue, just that here I'm using intensity to separate my subject from the background. So the light cast against the background is not as intense as what we see over here, okay? Like the hot spots that you see coming from directly above from the light source, which is soft, but it's intense as against the background, all right? Okay, so if you look at this image, you clearly see something that really stands out, which is the eye and the light cast. We used a snoot or a projector with a gobo, which casts a strip of light like you see in this image diagonally. You're going to come to this image later on, but you notice that this is quite similar as compared to this image, right? Because of the shaping of the light. But if we look at this image, you notice that the intensity of the strip of light is stronger than every color you see there, even though there's a hot color over here, which also catches attention. But looking at the area of coverage of the strip of light, you notice that because it is right on the eyes, it drags a whole lot of attention. And that's something that you can take into consideration. This light was actually very neutral. We went with a white balance of 5,600 Kelvin, which is normally, would I say, true to the color of the sun. In order to get that intensity, we needed to increase the power of the flash as against the other flashes, which had the blue gel and the yellow gel in front of it. So a quick recap. In as much as you're using colors which are complementary, you need to also consider intensity to separate your subject further from the background. You can equally send your subject a little bit away from the background so that if you're going to use any other light in addition to separately cast another color to the background to cause more separation, you can do that easily without any difficulty. But in my situation, I decided to use the same light that was coming from above to hit my background, but I made sure that my background isn't catching so much light as it is on my subject. All right, so let's go ahead onto this image. Is similar in colors. All right, so you notice that the position of the light over here and there are very different. Comes from the right hand side, is not touching the left hand side, and that's simply because of the position of the light again. So light positioning is also very imperative that you consider anytime you're looking at separation and where, of course, the light falls. All right, so that's basically that. And what distinguishes this image from the first one we just saw is the strip of light, of course, and the intensity that you see over here in the face. You notice that the light touching the face is much more strong than what is touching the head as well as the chest. All right, there's more contrast in this image than you see in this in terms of how much light falls on the body and how much area on the body catches the light. But of course, the color is much more projectile. Looking at this image as the last image, you notice that the area that the yellow light is touching is quite huge, and that's because the position of the light is back right here behind the subject directly from above, but it's not touching this area because the light that's supposed to be the key light has the blue, which is the cold color, and the hot color, which will definitely catch more attention, should cover a little bit of an area, and that's exactly what we went with so that it doesn't interfere with what's supposed to be seen stronger than the other. All right, so basically that's what we did. And capturing this image, in as much as we're looking at contrast, we're also looking at how much distance of the subject from the background was going to be. And we didn't really pull our subject too much away from the background so that the light could also touch the background and give us a blue tint over there as well, even though we're looking at intensifying our subject with the light more than the background for more separation. So basically, that's what you have to consider: intensity, color, complementary colors, colors that are opposite on the color wheel like we looked at. And you don't always have to go with the same concept where blue goes with orange and all that. You can marry colors as much as you can. Even though I'm saying that you can use complementary colors for the most part, you can equally use cool colors as well for your gelling. It depends on your creative style and how you prefer your work to be. But if you want more separation and you want more distinction in light and color, go with complementary colors, cool and warm colors. Mix them up and see how best you can turn your images to be. Thank you very much for watching this video to the very end. If you enjoyed it, please give it a thumbs up. Subscribe to my channel if you haven't. Turn on the post notification button, and I'm going to see you in the next video. Have a wonderful day. See ya.